What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to session 0 of the Entourage's Funnel Chats. I'm really glad you're all able to be here. For those of us not catching this live and catching it later on right there, feel free to leave your your questions and comments on the YouTube channel. And if you want to respond to any of the Facebook threads as well, you can get your questions answered from that point forward. Just an intro, my name's Todd Holland. A lot of you guys know me from the other group. I am tech guy here at the Breakthrough Academy, and I do these funnel chats every Tuesday and Thursday, and sometimes in between too when something comes up. The main purpose of these is to give you guys a chance to ask me questions that maybe isn't readily available right in front of you, direct you towards some videos that might help you, and maybe even show you some cool tricks as we go. Because just like you guys, I started exactly where you are. I thought I was doing Facebook right for a number of years when I started my real estate career, and it turns out I was not. I probably put about $10,000 into getting this stuff wrong before I started getting it right. So suffice to say, I've been where you are, and I can kind of identify with and answer things that you need help with. To start out, just as an introduction to this, the way that these will work generally is just like this. Sometimes it'll be myself, sometimes it'll be Rob Sequel. Rob Sequel is an OG at the really knowledgeable, and been doing this for a lot longer than I have too. So it'll be really cool. You get like a diversity of presenters. You've got the night classes in the evenings there, which are you've got Pat, and Pat's the affiliate manager and the tech manager. So he's the one who has he taught me a lot of tricks that I know now I implement. So to have him and Ryan be able to give that back, I think is going to be huge. And I think that's one of the biggest draws of the course. So, that being said, what I want to do now is just go over where to find some information, because you guys have, I'm sure, tons of questions, stuff anywhere from where do I get started to, I've been doing this for a certain number of time. How do I scale upward? The answer to both of those questions are in the same place. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys right now. I'm going to hop over onto my browser so you can see that. So one moment here. If there's anybody in the Facebook groups, I've got a couple monitors open. Well, I thought I did. Give me 1 second here. I've got access to the comments that are coming in both on Facebook and on YouTube. So if anyone has questions that they're not on the chat live, but they're watching and they want stuff to get answered, just feel free to write it in. If there's any hiccups with the audio or with the visual, please let me know in either of those or in the chat right here, and I'll get those squared away. Google Hangouts is cool, but it's not a perfect science by any means, right? So present to everyone here. We've got Joe Brickman here who's on. Joe, thanks for joining. You're the only person here live. We've got a couple viewers here. How are you, man?
We're living, bro. Making the best of it today.
I love it. That's fantastic. Perfect. So, okay. So if you guys can see, Joe, maybe you can be my tester and my eyes and ears here. Do you see what I see here, which is the BFA Entourage page?
I have it up here on my, I'm streaming you from my phone. I have BFA up on my desktop.
Gotcha. So when you look at my video, are you seeing kind of what I'm seeing here with the groups I'm clicking through? I just want to make sure the video is working.
I see exactly what you're doing. I see you all on my phone.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Okay, so the first place, this is kind of cool because you hear my voice and Ryan talking, so it's like one of those voiceover things. But so the first place you can go for information, obviously, and this is the main draw of in my opinion why we come here. Of course, to support the community, everything is great, but this right here, this is it. This is the most important part. So, I want to I'm not going to go over this right away. I'm going to go into the other two information sources first. But I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like. A lot of people have signed on but haven't got a chance to take a look at the courses. So when you get your login, you get in, this is what you see. You've got the different modules here. As you click on a module, you'll be able to go to the individual part. You can basically search through it too, because you can, if you have an AWeber question, in general, well, my computer's a bit slow right now, so apologize for this. Guys, if I'm freezing up, I'm sorry about that. For some reason, my wheel's spinning here. Okay, so, you can search for, AWeber, things like that. It's, for some reason, taking a long time to load. But up here at the bar there, and you can get, videos and stuff like that directed to you. That's one. I'm going to let that load up for a bit as I have what's here. So, obviously in Entourage, this is a group. Sorry, guys. Joe, you have a question? Okay, sorry. I thought sometimes I'll hear some ghost noises and I'll think it's you guys, but okay. So
I was invoiced for.
Okay, so looks like Joe's over there. So when you're in the Entourage group here, sorry, I get. For those of you who are going to see more and more of these and get to know better, I have ADD like no other. I get sidetracked like crazy. That's why I have so many windows open, browsers open. So you'll come to know that. Now in the Entourage group, there's not anything really in the way of files beyond the roster yet, and there's a few reasons for that. Number one is because for the majority of people in so far,
because what we do is we work directly with FedEx, so the billing is all directly through them, and the deal that we have, no matter what.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys. So, yeah, like I was saying, here in the Entourage, you can ask your questions here. Myself, Rob, Ryan, Pat, we're all here on the regular. So, you can within, I like to think within 5 minutes or so, or an hour, or a quick response time, we would get your question answered if they're very basic. I always recommend taking a look at, the course first, see if you can't find a video that answers it. But if you need direction toward a video, feel free just to ask, and a lot of us will help out. There's a whole lot of tribe members in here too, and the tribe is, for those of you that don't know, I'm not going to speak too much about that here, but that's kind of the next level up, and it's the inner circle. And a lot of them are doing very, very well with these exact methods. So, when you ask a question, there's a good chance that you'll find someone who'll pitch in from that circle as well, and that's always valuable. But if you're in the members group as well, there are a lot of files here. I mean, these are very, very helpful. I think that most recent one here posted. Ilya Fish posted this thing. You get things like infographics on. Wait for it to load here, on the different kinds of targeting parameters for Facebook. I mean, this is like everything that you could possibly need. All the different interests, the different demographics, home situations. He posted that into the files here. You've got stuff posted by Ryan himself, by Lindsay. Lindsay is our admin, and anything posted here is essentially Ryan's content post. So you see a lot of that here, a lot of tribe members too. The point is, is that there is a lot more than just the courses and just the support that everyone's pushing that it applies to you guys and will help you guys get the information you need, right? And this is, I mean, there's certainly no way I'd be able to get through all this stuff, right, in any amount of time. So I don't expect you guys to also, but there are some things there that can help you, like follow up, how to, do certain things with, this is cool. Social Skulls, that's Ryan's first syndicate. So anyway, take a look here, see if there's anything cool there that you like, and just peruse through it. And those, that if you look at it, that's basically the three main sources, the digital program and the Entourage group for questions and anything like that. There's also the ability, and I don't have the ability to get the link for you guys right now, but remind me to do this and I will. There's also the ability to schedule time with the tech team should the funnel chats and the videos, and if you can't find the answer, if there's a specific problem, you can always schedule time with one of us. We'll get the link to you to do that. That's exclusive to you guys as the Entourage members. That no one else is allowed to do that. So take advantage of that if you need to, but by all means, try these things first. We've got all of these funnel chats that I've done. There's about 9 of them so far. Those are up on a site for you guys to look at. You can check out the YouTube playlist to reiterate those things and just kind of bring them back in. Digital program, tons of information. Okay, so with that being said, unless we've got any questions, people ask me questions now, or but if you want to give me a shout or type in your question, something like that, go ahead and do that. If not, if there's nothing that you guys want me to go over that I just went over, I'm going to go over the actual digital programs, how to approach them, what each module is for, and kind of depending on what line of work you're in, maybe some recommendations on how to tackle each one of these here. This is very good, very, very good information. So, without further ado, if there's no questions. Let me just make sure of that, though. Hold on. Anything here? No. Okay. Hey, Joe, you got any questions since you're on the chat here? I have you muted, so if you know, because go ahead and unmute yourself if you want. And if not, I'll just move forward here. So,
how about now?
I hear you.
But awesome. I just texted you a question. If you want to go ahead and. I mainly do phone sales. Most of my leads are generated. They're already set up, and the funnels are all there and kicking. I bring in about 100 leads a day. About 50% of those are fully qualified. I'm looking pretty much just to strengthen my over the phone closing, I guess. So I'm looking mainly at more the programs that would be geared more to over the phone.
Absolutely.
Sales.
Absolutely. So the question was, for those of you on board, if you didn't hear what Joe was saying, he's got the funnels. He's got the funnels. He's got the lead gen. What he needs now, what he's looking for, is a mechanism to close people, increase his closing ratio on the phone. And there is information in the course for that. Good news. The first place I want to direct you to is, sales training. Each one of these, I think, I would start at the top here. I'd start with catch, because each one of these here, as you go, kind of builds on catch and how to use the catch method in different situations and with different objections, right? So that's definitely one place to start. But another great place, and this actually used to be a standalone program before we integrated it here into Break Free Academy, is Show Up and Close. Now, Show Up and Close is a bit of a longer one. It's 30 videos. The way that you're supposed to tackle Show Up and Close is by watching one video every day. They're mainly audio. I mean, they're videos, but they're audio. It's an audio tape with image background. Listen to each one of those, one a day, right, at the end of 30 days. And then if you can, repeat it. They're not very long. They're not more than, I think, 15 minutes each. And again, watch them in order, because it gets into each one of these. And instead of just describing, what catch is, like, this is a lot of this is like a what is kind of thing. This is Ryan's kind of flagship how-to, Joe. So for what you're looking for, I might go ahead and, I would say jump over the funnels for right now, unless you want to, strengthen those as you go. Focus on these two. And then if you have in kind of, it is as you move forward through this, just because he doesn't discuss specific, scenarios for phone sales, but he gives general enough so you can apply that, I think, easily enough to what you're doing. So that should be good there. Did they answer your question well enough, Joe? Did I touch on that?
Yeah, to an extent. Just a little bit of a brief background on me. The phone sales that I do, it's mainly electronics and cell phone sales. It's a very competitive and interesting market to get into. I don't think Ryan has anybody who he can consider a client that's in the same industry that I'm in. I also do a little bit of what Paul does on the side, sex toys and things like that. Cool. So, I'm trying to find like that, and also just to perfect my follow-up game. Over the phone is great, but what happens if I don't close the lead on the first call or the second call or the third call? There are automated follow-up emails, but I'm looking to kind of maybe figure out a way how to personalize follow-ups to where I can add this guy to this follow-up funnel and just have that email, go to him and contact him, and also just different ways how to expand my out-of-the-box kind of approach to follow-up, where the guy's, he may be expecting a call from me, but instead I hit him with an email, I hit him with a text message. It's more perfecting the art.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So a lot of that probably ties back into systems, right? Like systems, CRM, autoresponders.
Yeah, a lot of it does, but then, so I'll walk you through. I mean, if you're interested in listening to me, I'll walk you through my basic, customer acquisition. I have leads that come in. I pull them all off, all the ones that I take. I'll hit each lead up with a text message before I call them, to see if they want to schedule a call. And then otherwise, in 15, 20 minutes, they don't answer, I hit them with a call. Most of the time they pick up because they know who's calling. We'll go through, I'll walk them through. I have a website, I have an online portal, which has all my inventory. And 60% of the time they'll be like, oh, okay, let me look at it. And then I'll use PBS to kind of follow up with them either the next day or the day after. And then, later on that day, I'll just hit them with another email, thanking them for it was a pleasure speaking with them. and I'm looking forward to helping them out. And then in like 2-3 days, pretty much within 2 or 3 days, I have them closed as a customer just because the product that I'm offering is what they need. But I'm looking more for, you know, the 40% of the people who fall through the cracks, which are qualified buyers, you know, how to more kind of pique their interest and get them more to, you know, be more involved. And then also with a guy who'll place one order with me, I'm not looking for him to place an order with me today and then never hear from him again. I kind of want him to have, you know, me synonymous with his cell phone purchases.
Gotcha. So more of a branding thing than advertising. When people think cell phones, they think Brickman kind of a deal.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Man, I love it. That's awesome. I think you're right about that. That, you know, there's not another guy quite like you in the group, and that's awesome. You know, so that's that's pretty fucking cool. So as far as recommendations on where to start here, you said you're already in PBS, right?
Yeah, I actually bought the program before Entourage came out.
Oh, nice.
Went through it. I can kind of say touched on it once, but you know, it's been something that I've been just reverting to a lot recently.
Absolutely. And, you know, for people watching who are, you know, wondering what that is, PBS is one of the prior programs there. It's still available, I think. I don't have the details of that, but PBS goes into basically.
Shout out to Roxanne. Roxanne will hook you up with it.
Yeah, you know, if you have any questions about the products, period, just message one of the sales. Exactly, Joe. 100%. Right. You know, yeah, 100%. So yeah, I mean that PBS basically it's about you know, making yourself kind of like Joe said, not as like, you know, the sales guy that comes in and tries to like, you know, hard close someone into, you know, working with them. It's more to the effect of, you know, being a benevolent salesperson. In fact, that's like a module in the course, is the benevolent salesperson. It's an old adage where you basically obtain their permission to continue following up with them. And as you can see by, you know, what Joe's saying, that there is, you know, some numbers that go along with that. It does work, but, you know, not everyone's going to convert right away. There's going to be more long-term things that are going to need to come in. I think that's, you know, a lot of that's a systems thing. I really do, because when you get down to it, at that 40% that's not going to close, they still opted in. That's still a lead, so they still did give interest. So things like retargeting, I'm sure you're doing that. So like retargeting, you know, effectively, doing things like, you know, like you said, pattern interrupting email blasts. Joe's kind of getting everything right for everyone watching on board. Everything that Joe's saying is kind of on point. The pattern interrupt is basically when you say you're going to give them a call, shoot them a text message. So you're going to shoot them an email, give them a call. That kind of a thing, it works really well to get people to connect with you, because they're expecting one thing. They already put their, you know, so they already kind of, what am I trying to say here? Planned a response to what you said was going to happen. And then by interrupting that pattern, you've kind of broken that through that wall. And now you're dealing more with the person and not with the, you know, the facade they're putting up to not be sold to. Everyone's kind of scared of getting sold, but, you know, they, at the end of the day, what we do is bring solutions, right? So that being said, yeah, you know, Joe, great question. I think that, you know, have you gone through show up and close yet, or just PBS?
I did 3 modules in show up and close. I did it last night, and then I did it today. Nice.
Very cool. How do you like it so far?
So far, so good. I mean, if there'd be an audio download, it would make my life a lot easier instead of having to to log in. But I mean, it's solid shit. It's Ryan hardcore.
Fuck yeah, man. Absolutely. I think we used to have downloadable modules when people wanted this. And so, okay, but yeah, good. Very good. Also in the bonuses, you know, this isn't, a lot of this is more to the effect of, you know, the organic and the paid advertising, not branding, so to speak, but, you know, advertising. But there are some, you know, some cool things in here too. If you haven't gone through it yet, Joe and everyone else, you know, out in Closer Land, you know, this is kind of cool. It's definitely kind of cool. So, you know, with that said, you know, Joe, unless you've got, you know, more questions I want me to go over, I'd like to kind of go through the program here and guide people who are more new into where they should go and how to start and things like that. Joe, you cool with that? Awesome.
And I actually have a sales call scheduled in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to log in a little bit later and watch the rest of the replay. But Todd, it was a pleasure connecting. I'm looking forward to you know, getting to know you and your systems a bit better.
Hey man, I appreciate you coming on board. I really do. Good luck on your call, okay?
Thanks, bro. Catch you later.
Take care. All right, guys, for everyone who's still on the call here, I wanted to go over this. A lot of people have, touched on the course. They have watched maybe like 5 or 6 videos. I have not met a single person that doesn't work here that has watched every single one of these, and that's okay. That's okay because they're super valuable, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of information, and some of you are on deadline to get some business going and get some funnels built. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and check some comments first. Comments, are we good? Are we good on questions? Let me just get on the YouTube channel here. Bear with me, please. Okay, so how the hell do I find the video? That's awesome. Okay, great. So yeah, nothing in the chat, nothing. Okay, good. So gonna move forward here. Okay, so you're logged in. You have your credentials. You logged in, and now you are in the BFA digital program. Before we start, okay, this is always a good place to start. This is, these 3 videos I would highly recommend watching. And this is going to go over a lot of what I'm talking about here too. This Welcome to the Inside, it gives you the rundown on what, what's to come. Accounts to create, if you want to do things the way Ryan teaches them with, lead pages, Aweber, Wufoo, Zapier, so on and so forth, I recommend diving in here. Lead Pops, for those of you who don't know, and we're discussing strictly landing pages here, is an alternative to lead pages. It's a little less involved, a little simpler. It's what you do basically is you go and you set up an account and they build 30 funnels for you. The funnels appear, they look great now on mobile now. That's one thing that's new with them. The mobile lead pops looks fine. Lead pages is very similar. Aweber is an email autoresponder. You're going to see it referenced repeatedly throughout this thing, and it's how you're going to connect with your lead after they opt in. Wufoo is a survey form. That's how you're going to hear 6 questions a lot. The 6 questions that Ryan's going to talk about. That's how you're going to obtain that, is by having people fill out the Wufoo form. Zapier is a kind of cool thing that allows you to connect 2 programs together to send data. So if you have a lead that ends up in like, response to a Wufoo form, like a survey, you can have that person sent to a specific list and things like that. You'll see how to do that in all these things. Don't worry too much about that right now. Just realize that you will probably need, at a bare minimum, lead pages, Aweber, Wufoo, which is free, Zapier, which is free, to get started, because that's how you're going to start pulling in the leads. What you want at the end of the reason you're not using your business page, we had a good question in the group, why don't we just use our business pages or our business website? There's a reason you don't do that, and it's because of the theory of the funnel, why there's a funnel, right? So the first stage in that isn't to inform them. If you inform them right away, they're not going to use your anything. You give them all the answers. What you want to do is give them enough so they realize that this is the information that they want, and give them an opportunity to give you their information to reach out to them in the future, right? That's the end goal. And the way you do that is with the landing page. You're going to see more about that as we go, okay? So don't worry too much about that yet. And ClickFunnels, I'm going to go ahead and say stay away from ClickFunnels unless you absolutely know you need ClickFunnels for something. And, you're probably going to ask, well, Todd, how do I know if I need ClickFunnels? Trust me, you will. We'll leave it at that. People who already have ClickFunnels are like, yeah, I know what he's saying. And the next thing is how to navigate. You've got Ryan here that's praying to something, praying to you to navigate this website very well. And so he's going to tell you basically what I'm going to go through here, what each thing is about, what each module is, and how to watch and how to keep track of things. The next module is the live event. This I would say is really cool. You don't need to do this first. I think for people who are looking to get the full experience, like I was there, we did all the calls, I saw all the speakers. That's a really cool thing, because this is an event that this does not do it justice by any means. So basically, you break it down, day 1 and day 2, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, speakers, Ryan's things, Adam Stark's, presentations on the funnels, super cool. But not exactly what you need to get started right away if you're trying to get started quickly, right? So the 90-day escape is what comes after the live event. So when you go, historically, when you went to the live event, you would come back and you would have these routine calls with Ryan where he would hold you accountable, help you implement, see the results, right? That's what these are. So, and these are recordings of those, so it's like you were there, even if you weren't there, kind of a thing. So that's what these first two are for. Next is sales training. He's starting from the ground up, right? Before you can run, you need to walk. And what I'm basically saying by that is before you can, solicit a whole bunch of business on Facebook, you've got to, know how to sell that business, right? So go through these. I think it's very cool. Start with Catch. Catch is the foundation on which a lot of things are built. Facebook marketing is basically organic Facebook advertising. It goes over the syndicate. It goes over the whip effect. It goes over what's called the Facebook graveyard, which is basically just a further reiteration of EdgeRank. He goes into EdgeRank here in great detail. Watch this. A lot of people are here for the funnels, and that's great, and that's really cool because it's a cool way to get extra cold leads in business, and it works. Close this. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'll if I be challenged by it, that's okay. People are going to say like, no, my funnels convert way better than organic. Yeah, but the organic, if done properly, it works way better than anything else. How do I know that? Because we're all here in the entourage, and Ryan is pretty much the master of organic Facebook marketing. And if it works on us, and we're the 1% of the population that actually wants to change and improve ourselves and get better at our business, then it'll work on our prospects too. And by working on them, and it kind of works for them, because at the end of the day, we're there for we're not there to screw people. That's, if you look at a lot of these things, Ryan talks about like Jedi tricks and good, not evil, don't be evil, and kind of a thing, and that really holds true, because this kind of information, knowing how to use social media this way, it gives you a lot of power, right? And we know what people say about power. So yeah, Facebook marketing is cool. Facebook ads, this is the paid stuff. By paid, I mean actual advertisement. How to run an ad, 3-step formula, basically the front end, everything, the follow-up campaign. What is Zapier? Watch this if you can all the way down before you try to build a funnel, because it really helps to iron out a lot of the main questions there. Once you've done that, go to funnels here. The number one thing I want to show you with funnels is the checklist. The checklist is, go in there right now. People who are watching, go into the checklist. Save this somewhere for yourself into an Evernote, or just like bookmark the page or something, because this is how you're going to build your funnel step by step every single time. When Ryan does it for people, when people who do really well in this do a funnel, when they make the ad, when they create all this, they follow this step by step all the way to the end. And this is my favorite part: making sales, of course. So that's funnel. Twitter and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is huge for connecting. If you're a loan officer, even if you're a realtor, connecting with other realtors or builders. If you're in insurance, connecting with loan officers. If you're in any line of work that depends on connecting with, another professional, which is literally every line of work you can imagine, then this is going to be huge. Watch this. It's really cool. High Paid Academy, this is like one of my favorites. I'm in real estate and mortgages myself, but lately I've been doing more real estate. And High Paid Academy is kind of like a wake-up call by Adam Stark, where it's like, look, whatever you're doing, it's probably wrong, because you're spending too much energy and time on doing things that you can just automate and delegate out. And then the bonuses, we add to this all the time. As more cool things come, we just throw it in here. That's why it's like the biggest category, and it's like so much there. Ryan's a first syndicate, the social schools, the email archive, a funnels thing, hashtag prospecting. Back when that was huge, you can still do it really well. That's why people drop hashtags and get really good engagement. Whip effect. And then you've got show up and close, which if you watched it earlier, most of you know what this is. It's sales training. It's sales training down to the very core. It's how you convert someone from a conversation to a conversion, and then to a commission check. So, that's basically that. I know that went like a very long explanation. And like, thank you guys for bearing with me on that, because I know that was long. I'm gonna come back to myself here. Rob, what's going on, man? Rob Sequel, everybody in the house.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Hey, how's it going, man? Good training so far. I'm just listening in today, see how the flow goes. So great job so far.
Hey, thank you for joining us, man. I really appreciate that. Rob's gonna be doing some of these with me as we go. A lot of people know Rob from way back when. Real cool guy. Send him all kinds of messages and bother him all the time because he loves being bothered.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna hop back over here. Actually, let me check out the YouTube channel here. I got a Facebook message from Bob McDaniel, which I guess I'm saying that means I can't see the Facebook channel. Okay. Okay, so okay, gotcha. Let me really quickly here try to find a way to get access to those comments because I'd like to see what he's asking. Well, shoot. Okay. All right. So, Bob, if you are watching, go ahead and comment in the Facebook group, you know, with what you'd like me to go over, please. I'm not able to see YouTube comments, unfortunately. Okay. So, at this time, usually, where are we? About 30 minutes in? Yeah. People start to run out of questions. And while we wait for Bob to get his questions posted there, I'm going to go ahead and start showing you some cool stuff, which is like my favorite part. So back to share my screen. Okay, present to everyone. Should be able to hear me and see me okay. Okay, so just to go back to it, I briefly showed it to you guys, but I think it, you know, it's a really cool document and it, you know, warrants a little more, you know, investigation. So this thing that Ilya posted in members is really cool. It's the complete guide to all the different parameters for your Facebook ads. Everything from location to your relationship statuses to interests, custom audiences. I mean, every setting that you can imagine in audiences is here, and it's really, really cool. So for people who are like, man, I really want to be targeting corporate executives, a lot of people say that, or financial professionals, because people are in B2B, just search for the job role. For people who, you know, I haven't had good luck with this, but someone told me that he did. He does a foreign national program over at Citadel, and he, you know, he does like expats and things like that. He said he does okay doing that. And with those Citadel loans, by the way, you can charge a lot. So he, you know, he makes a lot off of these little loans. But check this out, because even I'm not sure how many you know, car guys we have in Entourage at this time, but the automotive things right here, the automotive targeting, that works for you right here. Sometimes you get, you know, questionable credit, but you know, you can delineate that a little bit further. Things like that. Okay, so you know, instead of just showing you this document right here, I'm going to go ahead and open up Ads Manager now. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I'm gonna head over to Ads Manager right now and show you something kind of cool. I touched on this in my previous video where I was trying to get y'all to do more videos. You know, I think Kylan Anderson was on that one. If you guys don't know Kylan from the members group, he's a car guy and he's, you know, doing really, really well with his live videos and just videos in general. And so this is kind of a nod to him and what he's trying to do. So when you go to your audiences, you know, what we normally do, and guys, y'all can see what I'm doing here, right? That's okay. I anyhow. When you go into your audiences, you know, you can, what we normally do is we go down to the saved audience and then we start narrowing down the parameters and the age and the targeting and stuff like that. This right there, just to show you one more time how to do it, if you don't know, inside your audiences in Ads Manager, saved audience. Again, there's a lot of ways to do this. You can do Power Editor too. I just, for the sake of time and simplicity and my own curse of laziness, I'm just doing this. But Power Editor works, I think, you know, in some cases better, if not in a more complex way. But so, you know, when you create audience, it's called a saved audience. A saved audience is the one, I'm not quite sure why they call it that, maybe because you save it into your archive there, but it's one where you can go and narrow down the ages and, you know, go men, women, the targeting, all these things. Well, I closed the window, but all those things in that infographic I showed you before, that's all here. And that's how you can target people based on that. So that's one kind of audience, right? The other kind of audience is, you know, what I like to, no, I don't like to call it, I make this up, obviously, it's a custom audience. Custom audiences are cool because they let you stay in front of people you have who've interacted with you in some way, right? Whether they've gone to your website or whether they have done business with you as a customer, messed with your app, engage with your stuff on Facebook, you can target and retarget based on that. So what I like to do is I like to click on you know, engagement on Facebook. And if you do a lot of videos and you want to run a video ad, a couple people ran video ads in the Entourage group. That's why I'm bringing this up. Click on video and just take a look here at what you can do here, and think about what potentially what this could do to help you understand not only, you know, how to maximize your conversions from these videos, but also where you're falling short. If you're able to delineate out to see, you know, how many people or who spends X amount of time on your videos, which you can do with the analytics, you don't have to do that here, right? But if you're able to say, okay, well, the people who liked, you know, safe to say if someone watches 75% of a 15-minute long video, they're not like, you know, losing interest in the first 30 seconds. So it probably applies to them in some way. I would even say, you know, if they watch half the video, you could target based on that. Also, for people who, you know, have watched like the whole thing, then, you know, that's like someone who's really interested and probably ready to, you know, hear your offer. It's kind of a cool thing. And I know I'm jumping all over the place here with the different things to do. Basically, all that matters for this session right here is that you're in, right? You're here. Thank goodness you're here. You have access to a lot of materials on what to, you know, how to do what you came here to do. I mean, there's no other way to say it. You've access to, you know, the groups and things like that. You've access to myself, guys like me, Rob, Pat, Ryan, in the group there. As you post, we'll all be kind of, you know, chiming in to help out there. And you've also got, and again, I apologize, I don't have the link up right now. I need to, I'll save you the why, but there is a scheduling site that you can go on to schedule a meeting with one of us at the tech team. If everything else is kind of, you know, fallen short, you can do that. Do that sparingly, please. The only reason that I say please do it sparingly is because, you know, for a lot of the questions that, you know, maybe very basic, that you can just kind of look at, you know, some of the guides there. We want to be able to help as many people as we can get to where they want to be. So just, you know, please be conscientious of that when you're scheduling. And, you know, beyond that, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, you're in the right place. We're really excited to have you here. And, you know, if you have any questions about anything, please, I don't hesitate to say this. Ask the group, ask around. We will help you, and that's the whole point of this. So, you know, everyone watching, thank you so much for watching. Rob, Joe Brickman, thank you guys for coming on board, keeping us company here and making sure we're working as far as the tech side goes. And, you know, happy selling. See you guys on the other side.
Sounds good.
Take care, guys.